Hello, and welcome to another Ringroo cast, me Ringroo. And today we are doing a 1v1 on Call of Eel. So, on the right hand side in blue, playing as Blue 4, we got Taris the 4th, playing as the 2nd French Armoured Division. And on the left hand side in red, playing as Red 4, we got Tigga, playing as the 91st Luftlande. Still going to speed things up and get things going. It's the first time we're seeing Call of Eel on the map, which is where we just pause it. I just want to show you how bloody awesome this map is. You got, rather than this 1v1 version, one town back here and one town back here. It doesn't really see all that much play, but along the middle it's quite a bit of open ground with a few of these bunker areas which aesthetically look really bloody cool. And you can actually go inside the bunkers and garrison infantry inside of them. So a very fun map. Definitely one of my favourites. And in the larger versions, you can just barely see it. There's a swamp area. An actual swamp. So this will be started shortly. And the 2nd French Armoured Division, very good in A phase. They do lack an infantry, which does suck. As you see, Tigga not lacking an infantry at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 2 or 3 cards of inferior troopers. And the Greyhound rushing down the middle, winning the race here, and gonna be stunning down the inferior troopers as they move down the road. And now all of them are just getting tagged here. And we do have a Command Stewart and a Wolverine. They can get the Wolverine in A phase, as well as the Bofors on the back of a truck, which is one of the new units, of course. So a very heavily armoured push in the middle. Yeah, the bottom right side is, well, there's not much here, just a machine gun and a recon dude, while Tigger's bringing up the whole goddamn Third Reich army. And this is just inferior troopers all over the bloody place. There must be at least a dozen on the map at the moment. And the lone machine gun up top is doing its best to try to hold off this assault. But it did manage to get a bit close. No, you may want to unload. There you go. A little bit too close there with the Vota gears. And down below there, the machine gun just getting completely overran by the horde of German infantry. Doing a good job, getting a few good kills, but it's not enough. And this is really good play from Luftlande. A lot of people prefer to use, you know, like a few Feldjägers and have them out. But I honestly find it much better just to spam inferior troopers all over the bloody map. They're not amazing. They're not Feldjägers, of course, but they spot stuff and they get shot at, and they're not too bad at shooting back if you get close enough. As you can see, we got the Normandy being brought out. The half tractors coming in and completely blasting that unit to pieces. And the Normandies are 2-star elite infantry. You can only get 4 of them in your deck at all, and it takes 2 cards, which is a lot of activation points for a very limited amount of infantry. But they're decent. They got a machine gun and they got 2 stars. They're no Feldjägers in terms of equipment, but it's something. And the half tracker coming is pretty good, and having a 2-star half track helps out as well. And he's moving his half tracks down the middle. Oh, one of them does get shot up by the Panzerschreck, and the Panzerschreck is going to be falling back after getting hit. And then the Normandies going at it with the inferior troopers. Of course they're going to win, as a machine gun and veterancy helps out quite a bit. And in the middle we got the tank destroyer moving up with the Stuart. A good combination, because the Stuart does give it, or did give it, extra veterancy. And we got a Spitfire flying around. I think he's trying to go for the pack gun, but he did lose line of sight. It still does have the M3 and the Greyhound in middle wheel, which is still more than enough armor. The only real scary thing is that bloody Pack 40, and it just forced it to fall back, which is very good. And then the Normandies down below, getting a nice amount of ground because there's not too much stopping them. And we got a Normandy up top, so all he has is 1 guard of Normandies left. Strafe rocket run, I should really say, from the 109. Beaufort's a little bit far away to give effective fire support. And these two tanks are doing a decent job holding this middle entirely by themselves. Our Pack 40 still rating to be not so stressed. There we go, slowly going down here. And then Rave is also taken up top 2. And we do got second Wolverine here. And you're still on A-Phase. I mean, he has 2 cards of A-Phase Wolverines. He's going to be moving up for tank purposes. And I gotta say, a Wolverine's so bloody good. Because it's only 125 points. That's pretty damn cheap for something that has 13 AP. And the frontal armor's not bad too. It's the same as the Panzer IV. The only real negative is HE ammo only has 10 shots. And an A-Phase where you're going to be doing more infantry support compared to anti-tank stuff, it is a bit of a shame. Now do have 2 Panzer 35s coming down the middle. In the open, you see, just run the M3 by itself. Gonna kill them easy peasy like. Here it is, just gonna fall back for safety reasons. The Pack 40 is gonna be moving up to try to get a shot on the tanks. And I believe he has, if he puts himself here, he has okay line of sight. The apple field does block the other side, so the tanks are safe, yeah. And we've got the continuation of this assault down bottom with some light armor being brought into the fray. Recon guy getting destroyed, but the Panzer Strike team does knock out an M20, which is a nice easy kill. And a bomb and run, yeah, from the 109. And the Beaufort's in the middle just got blown up, which is not a good thing to lose. And the Wolverine being forced to retreat. And Spitfire going in for a strafing run on the pack gun. Just suppressing it for now. And he's not going to risk it for a second strafing run, just going to be falling back. Yeah, and the Rave's doing a good job, just attacking through the bottom outside, gaining a lot of ground. As you can see, Taris is at a +2 point advantage. Yeah, we are in B phase now, and well, I know Luftlande B phase doesn't get too much better. I mean, he's starting to get some Feldjägers now, but you get him in A phase. But in terms of tanks, it's pretty pathetic if only Panzer IIIs and Stugs. And the main thing that Tigga really needs to take advantage of is, of course, aircraft. He has a lot more aircraft slots, 7 or 8 compared to just a 4 that the French get. So air superiority is going to be name of the day. You see his Panther 35 giving some decent fire support. Just against his half track if it can actually hit it. And the Feldjäger's moving up. Now Feldjägers versus Raves, the Feldjägers are going to win unless they're outnumbered in this scenario. Because the Feldjägers have better equipment. A lot better equipment compared to Raves. But in this case, they're just going to fall back. I want to say, is the ground much different from the... Nah, it's pretty much statistically similar from the G43. Of course, this one has less fire rate because there's less actual numbers of rifles, of course. I mean, a semi-automatic rifle's a semi-automatic rifle. And see, there we go. Air superiority here from Tigga. 109 and another 109 chasing down the Spitfire. And every plane they shoot down is going to be a good victory. Because, like, pretty much air superiority in this game, it just comes down to the snowball effect. If you shoot down one plane, you get 2 planes. You shoot down another plane, and you can afford 3 planes. That's really helping Tigga here. And the Raves are trying to attack down the bottom. They do have the Wolverine supporting, and the Feldjägers and Grenadiers are going to be forced to retreat. And Taris is still at a very nice +2 point advantage during this match. Or HS109 going in for a strafing run. Not getting a kill, yo, but did force it to retreat. I think the pack gun's trying to get into position too. Pack 38 and Pack 40 positioned in the middle. as that M3 tries to move up. And I think a second HS-129 did knock out the Wolverine, yeah. And just a standard 109. Great strafe from the mortar, getting an easy kill. And this is the air superiority that Tigga needs. We've got Spitfire being brought up, but yeah, Tigga does not have any AA to support him in this endeavour, so he's going to need another plane. Yeah, that 109 is vetted too, so it should be an easy fight. Yeah, just going to bring up a second run just in case. And yeah, he's definitely going to win that engagement. Taras really needs to start flying over his lines and allow the Bofors to do the talking. And he does lose another Spitfire. And it's starting to look pretty good for Tigga. Lots of planes. He's going to be doing a bombing run. Oh no, not doing a bombing run. Just going to be pulling back as the Bofors does hit him. And Taras is still making some progress down below, bringing up a M3 recon tank. Some more Naves. He's starting to run low on them now, as they have been depleted. But he's still pushing quite well. He has map control. Does lose the M3 to the Pack 38. I believe that was the Pack 38 he lost it to. And the Panther 35 give him fire support, as the M3 does move up to rail support. They got 109. Does he drop the bombs? I don't think so. Though he might have. Yeah, those Bofors in the trucks are, I really like them. Yeah, they're 1-star. They're not that expensive, and just the mobility of having a mobile Bofors is bloody wonderful, because the Bofors is such a good AA gun. Just solid all around. And the M3s are going at it, or the M3 versus the Panther 35s. And you've got a 109, I think he's gearing up to do a strafing run, and another Focke-Wulf. And the thing is, Taras is out a huge point lead. Tigga he needs to start gaining ground. He has priorities doing him wonders, but he needs to gain some ground. He doesn't kill the Bofors of the bombing run, which is quite the same. But down on the Naves, they're getting pinned down, they're losing. So Taras is going to rely on some regular infantry. He hasn't really brought up any regular infantry. He got some Fusilier Marines, which are alright, I guess. But not against this stemming horde of Fountshakers. Got a Cannon 57 being brought into middle, as well as another M3. And there's a rocket run, kills the Bofors gun. Knocking out the air, also very important here. This has been constant planes back and forth. And the 129, I think he's gearing up to do a strafing run on the M3. Should be an easy kill if he can just hit it. I mean, the gun is 18 AP versus a whopping 5 frontal armor. It seems like he's going up top here to kill the M8. And does he get the kill? No, he does not. It's one annoying thing about 129s. It seems so lucky. They have to be, you have to roll lucky to get the kill. Because sometimes some matches I bring one up, it kills tank after tank after tank. And other matches it just misses every single time I bring it up. It's luck of the draw. And the Panther 35 slowly moving up. I mean, yeah, 30 slower than a King Tiger off-road. But I'm making progress, forcing the M3 to fall back. I mean, they can barely penetrate it. And 129 going to be falling back. And Tigga should probably start gaining some ground now. There's really not much here at the top to stop him. He's yet a mortar and a Bofors gun. But he doesn't have any mobile units to attack with. He really is just using infantry and AT guns, which is good for defense, but he can't be defended right now. He needs to be attacking. He's spending all his points on his mobile planes, which is helping him a lot, but, you know, even just one Panzer III up top would do wonders, absolute wonders. Yeah, we are in C phase now, so he should have some C phase Stug 3s in his deck. I really hope he does. You need some sort of tanks as Luftlande. And the Grenadiers moving through to the last Normandy, holding onto the forest. And they are out of machine gun ammo. Yeah, they're pretty much out of ammo, except for the Thompsons, so they're really not in a good position. And 129 strafing the Sherman, yeah, good kill. And yeah, like the French deck, it seems like Taras has really lost his steam. And Tigga, as you can see, is just bringing up a crap ton of infantry. Too bad we can't see what's actually in here, but I want to say it's Grenadiers. And then Rave is slowly getting encircled, alone in the forest. Has a mortar, pounds array. And they're completely, well, almost out of ammunition. Only the Thompsons left. Off top we got just some recon guys. This all means is we're on run tank. Just easily break through the top hand side. No, he's just charging the infantry down the road. No holds barred. And now he is gaining a point advantage plus run. And we do have a Sherman which is gonna get into position to try and stop his nonsense. And a bomb and run from the Focke-Wulf. I think he's... Did he drop the bombs? No, he didn't. He didn't drop the bombs. See, those both are bloody good. I know that Sherman's getting some good kills now. There were some Fusiliers in there. And Fusiliers could just get a bit closer. They could probably kill Sherman, but he's completely forgot about him. There you go. As he manages to unload, but if he just unloaded out sooner and ran into the forest, he would have been good, but once again, that's a bit of a shame. 129 doing a strafing run on the Sherman, doesn't get the kill but forces it to fall back, giving his Fusiliers a bit of a respite, however you say it. And a strafing run on the supply truck, doesn't get the kill. No, it says really good air power from Tigga. Taras isn't even bothering to bring up any planes. I doubt he even has that many planes in his deck. Those Spitfires were probably the only things that he had. Or probably some bombers too, but at this point it'd be kind of deadly to bring up anything. And a bomb and run, that's definitely going to kill the Bofors, yep. Now he's really starting to attack now. You got to realize Tigga's have 15 point, well, income advantage compared to Taras at the moment. And Taras is bringing up the Shermans, and the Shermans are really good because there's nothing that can stop him, essentially. Unless the infantry manages to get close. But he needs some infantry of his own to screen in front. And he must have something else apart from those 4 Nareves. I mean, he's got some command guys being brought up, which is, yeah, that's cool, but he must have sappers at least. And with 13 minutes left, Tigga is just barely going to win, but he needs to keep the +2 advantage for the entirety of the match. So really, it's just going to come down to Taras trying to make some sort of breakthrough, just not to completely get map control, but just to stop the point bleed, because this is getting a bit ridiculous now. Sherman almost getting flanked around by the Fusiliers, lots of Pioneers. And Sherman coming up, the pack gun does got eyes on it, yo. And I'm guessing he's going to bomb it here, or strafe it with 109, as a strafe in the M16. deadly game, but the Sherman does get the kill. Those 2 stars definitely helped out, yeah. And yeah, the Nrave, yeah, just gonna hang out behind enemy lines. I mean, heck, I wouldn't even worry about them. All they have is the submachine guns. I mean, you could probably start moving it around, try to knock out a mortar or 2, but yeah, just gonna. Their war's over. They're just gonna hang out in the forest, just wait for it all to blow over, essentially. And you see Taris is still on a vest and a lot of AAs, M16s. Did you just strafe an M16, yeah? I just kind of saw it disappear. What the hell? Well, okay. The 109's forced to retreat. And the Sherman in the middle did get knocked out. You know, he has tank support and he is bringing up some Voltigeur machine guns, but he has no infantry to cover. And these planes are really doing a number on him. He did manage to get an M3 all the way around to flank, which slowly brought it back down to a +1. And it's gonna be tight. He needs to keep it at a +1 and just try to make his jabs into enemy territory. And we've got the bombing run, yeah. The 109s keep flying around to keep the skies clear, but there's nothing really to shoot down. And a Ju-88 dropping in bombs. And the M16s, yeah, they're not that great AA pieces. They're good for stunning up, but they're rather short. Well, not too short range, I believe, if I can actually press the right button. Yeah, 100 meters is not bad. I'll take it back. They're decent. I just always think a machine gun's a pretty crap AA unit, but heck, at least it's not the goddamn Scottish thing that has, like, 4 low caliber machine guns. That's not an AA unit. It's just a messed up looking car. And the bombing run there knocks out the mortars. And this is the type of ground that Tigga could be pushing. And he's using a lot of infantry. And there we go, Stug 3 finally. And a Panzer 3 that just got destroyed. But yeah, he just needs his tanks. I mean, Stug 3 is more than enough to kill literally every single French armoured vehicle that Taris can bring up. And it's the type of mobile flight support that he needs. The Sherman's moving up slowly. So it's not going to get into range of the Fallschläger's rocket launcher. 129 doing a strafing run on the M20. And he's going to come in for the M16, gets the kill as well. Which, and it disappeared. Okay, that's a funny bug. It just got blown up, no icon or anything. Huh, there must be a magician. Or they teleported to the Vietnam War. Another Stug and another Panzer. Now he's starting to get, well, it's not much armor, but it's some armor at least. As the Sherman's forced to retreat. Oh, the Fallschläger could probably jump in and get the kill. That's exactly right he's doing. Goodbye, Sherman. And now he's at a +3 point advantage. Tigger's going to win this for sure. Unless Taris can do some sort of crazy assault, but he does not have much units. He's running low of infantry, and the nice thing about Luftlande is you get a lot of infantry. And the lone M5 down below, keeping the Grenadiers at bay. And another Ju-88 bombing run. And it's trying to hit. Yeah, pretty much kills infantry unit, yeah. Force AA to fall back. And you see Taris, he has lost all momentum. I mean, this is all his forces that he has, plus this one lone machine gun squad left. And yeah, strafing run on the tanks. Any tanks that he's just going to bring up are just going to get destroyed by the planes. And this is a real good example of Luftlande air superiority. He didn't play it like a standard deck. as we saw, he just used infantry and AT guns for the majority of the match. But he, as you can see, so many bloody planes, and he uses that to his advantage to just bomb and keep Taris suppressed. And Taris did a very good early game push, played the French exactly how you should. The armor helped out quite a bit with dealing with the infantry that Tigga brought up. So really good play from both sides. It's just the same that Taris lost all steam once regular infantry, the Pioneers and Grenadiers, started to be brought onto the battlefield, and the crazy amount of air superiority that Tigga had at his disposal. And that will be a victory here for Tigga. Rather close on the KD, nothing too crazy. And yeah, it was Taris that uploaded this, which is very good. A lot of people don't upload videos. Wait, was it him who uploaded it? Yeah, Minor Defeat. Yeah, he did upload it. What am I talking about? A lot of people always upload replays, never upload the ones that they lose, per se. So good on you. You can learn a lot from replays such as this. And as you can see, yeah, his tanks did a very good job in the early game, knocking out all those infantry in the Reves too. But as you can see, once we got later on, you know, his stuff became rather ineffective. And if you look at the losses here, yeah, Imperial Troopers not getting that many kills, and the planes doing a shit ton of damage. So I count 109, 2 Spitfires, and 4 AA pieces. I mean, that's an FU if I've seen one. HS-129 knocking out a bunch of tanks and other vehicles. A lone pack gun managed to do quite a bit of damage. And you can see once you got later on, he just killing everything left, right, and centre. But a really good match. I liked that one a lot. So it's 2 completely different playstyles going at it. And this is why I really like Steel Division, is because you have such weird decks with different playstyles battling on against each other. And I'm going to shut up and leave it at, yeah, this has been another Angry Cast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.